Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I'm back with a new video. Now, before I get into it, I want to say, once again, it's not actually a comic video, but it's comic related, particularly if you're an Avengers fan, you'll want to check this out. I'm still dealing with back issues. It's going to be a while. I'm hoping to get back to doing some comic-specific videos next week. Cross fingers here, but there's a little collectible show that's just 10 minutes from my house, and I'm hoping over the weekend I'll be feeling well enough to at least go there and walk around and look around. So hopefully next week at least there'll be a new convention video report, and maybe I'll even pick up some stuff there. And then I've got some other ideas of things that I can do while I'm still healing to get more comic content here on my channel. But this is really exciting for me. As you know, I've done a couple videos recently about buying magic cards, which is what I've been doing while I'm convalescing. And one thing that really got me excited to get back into it is this. These are called Secret Lairs, and they're special editions that they release only through the website in limited numbers for limited times. And they've been doing these, what they call Universe Beyond crossovers with other properties outside of Magic the Gathering and making cards from them in the Magic universe. Last time I showed you the Final Fantasy set that's a Universe Beyond, but these Secret Lairs they did last year were, as you can see, Marvel. And check it out. It's Captain America set. But it's not just Captain America, because they also did sets for Iron Man and Black Panther and a few other characters. So, as a big Avengers fan, I'm collecting the Avengers cards, but not just collecting them. I'm going to be making an Avengers Magic deck to play in the Commander format, which is my favorite format. And as we'll see, because I have the cards here now, there's a lot of synergy between the two primary Avengers, Captain America and Iron Man. So I'm going to show you the Captain America cards, I'm going to show you the Iron Man cards, I'm going to show you the other Avengers cards that I have in this video. And then I'm going to do another video somewhere down the line, a couple weeks maybe, where I'm going to be building my Avengers themed Magic the Gathering deck. I'm so excited. I'm going to pop this open right now. Just got it in the mail. And pause for a second. I'm going to show you the cards once they're open. Okay, I'm back. I'm really excited for these. I'm going to start with the Captain America cards. As you might expect, Captain America is going to be the commander for my Avengers deck. And what's really great, as we'll see when we go through these cards, is there's a lot of synergy actually between the Captain America set and the Iron Man set. They particularly go together well if Captain America is the commander. So let's start here, and I'm going to show you some really cool cards. Here is Captain America, First Avenger. Hold on. Let me find where the camera is. There's Captain America, First Avenger. See if I can get that in focus. Now these are foil cards here. My Iron Man cards are not foil, but my Captain America ones are. And again, just as a collector, I'm really excited to be able to collect these. I've been playing Magic the Gathering since 1994. So this is definitely a worlds collide here for me. And Captain America is a really cool commander. He has, one thing they've done really well with these sets is capture the flavor of the characters with the mechanics of the game, which I really appreciate because they do some really cool things. So in Magic, if you haven't played, this may not make full sense to you, but Captain America has two abilities, one called Throw and one called Catch. And the catch is, at the beginning of a combat on your turn, you can attach an equipment you control to Captain America. And the throw is, you can spend some of your mana, which is your resources in the game, to unattach an equipment from Captain America to do damage equal to its casting cost to up to 3 targets divided as you choose. So essentially, he's throwing a shield, hitting up to 3 different people with it, and then it's coming back to him. So I love the flavor of this. It's so great. Equipment decks, they're called Voltron decks. They haven't actually put out a Voltron set yet, but equipment decks are one of the archetypes in Commander, and so there's a lot of support for it. And as we'll see, the rest of Captain America's cards all support this. Starting with, naturally, Captain America's shield, which is called in the game the Shield of War and Peace. Now this is a reskin of a classic Magic card called the Sword of War and Peace, but obviously they've redone it so it's Captain America's shield. And this does a bunch of stuff. Makes you more powerful, gives you protection from certain colors, etc., etc. So obviously you want to put out Captain America and then attach the shield to him and then start throwing it around. That's the dream. It's just so fun. But the other cards that come with the set are also super cool. Here's one called Captain America's Aid. This is basically allows you to cast equipment and aura spells at any time, and then you can, whenever you put equipment into the field, you can automatically attach it. It's basically Captain America giving his equipment to the other characters. So the picture here you can see is Captain America giving his shield to Falcon so he can become the new Captain America. So again, great flavor with the choices of cards that they're doing here. Here's another great flavor card. It's called Flawless Maneuver. This allows you to give all of your characters indestructible for one turn. And if your commander is in play, you can play it for free. So as you can see, it's Captain America jumping in front of the other Avengers and protecting them with his indestructible shield. And then this one, the last of the 5 Captain America cards, I know you guys are going to love because it's called In the Trenches, and it's just makes your characters more powerful. But what's great about it is the artwork on here actually has the Invaders on it. Check it out. It's Captain America and the Invaders fighting in World War II. How great is that? I wasn't expecting sort of deep lore stuff on these cards. You know, I figured it would be more like movie stuff or, you know, the Avengers maybe, which we see in some of the other cards. But having trying to get this in focus, having the Invaders on the card is so cool. Like, for the abilities, this is not necessarily a card that I would necessarily put in the deck, but for the flavor, you've got to include it, right? And then finally, with these secret layers, they each come with a bonus card. So if you got the set of all 6 Marvel secret layers, you would have a secret set of Groot cards, because each one comes with a baby Groot card. Here's Captain America's baby Groot card. It's called Masterwork of Ingenuity. It allows you to copy an equipment. And as you can see, it's Groot using his plant powers to make a copy of Captain America's shield. So that's fun. This is a card. I actually have a regular version of Masterwork of Ingenuity I was planning on putting in this deck anyway. So this is a perfect addition to that. So that's Captain America. But now it's time for Iron Man. And Iron Man's super cool too. Here he is. It's Iron Man, Titan of Innovation. So here's Iron Man. Some cool artwork. Trying to get this so you can actually see it without all the reflections. It's a little bit difficult. There's Iron Man, the Titan of Innovation. And he's got, again, very thematic for the character. He's got flying and haste. So as soon as he comes in, as soon as he casts him, he can attack immediately. And he's flying because he's wearing his armor. And his ability is whenever he attacks, you create a treasure token because it's Iron Man. He's super rich. And then you can sacrifice an artifact to search your deck for a more powerful artifact and put it in play. So essentially what's happening is when Iron Man's attacking, he's creating money because he's super rich, and then he's using that money to build better artifacts. So again, great thematic way to represent the character in the game's mechanics. I absolutely love that sort of thing. I'm sort of a game mechanic nerd. I love playing games. So one thing that the absolute best thing you can do is have the mechanics of the game provide the flavor of the game or vice versa. And so I love that. But also, as you could probably, even if you're don't play Magic, you could probably tell just from what I've told you about these cards that Iron Man works perfectly in a Captain America deck because Captain America is all about the equipment, which are all artifacts in the game. So Iron Man allows you to basically put out equipment for free. He comes into play. He starts buying equipment for Captain America. That's the synergy, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I love that. And it's important to say, like, he don't have to sacrifice the treasure he puts out. That treasure counts as an artifact, so you can do that. But theoretically, like, if you've already got equipment out, you could put Iron Man out, attack immediately with his haste, sacrifice an equipment in play to bring out a more powerful equipment. So very cool card. And of course, it wouldn't make any sense unless he also had his own equipment, namely Iron Man's armor. Here it is. It's called Commander's Plate. And Commander's Plate makes you +3/+3, so it makes you really powerful, and it gives you protection from any color that's not in your commander's identity. Now, in this case, I forgot to mention one thing that was really fun about Captain America is his color identity, which is the color mana you use to cast him, is red, white, and blue. They did that just solely because it was funny. It does make this actually slightly less useful in the game because you're only getting protection from black and green, but how cool is it? You got Captain America attacking. He throws on Captain America's shield and Iron Man's armor. How cool is that, right? And then we've got a couple other really cool cards that came with this. This is the Soul Ring. This is an absolute staple of Magic, and particularly Commander. Every deck's got to have a Soul Ring in it. And this is a special edition Soul Ring that looks like the arc reactor from the movies that Iron Man makes in the first movie to power his heart and also his suits. So that's really cool. We also have the Inventors Fair, which is the Stark Expo from the movies. And this is a land that you can sacrifice to search for an artifact card in your deck. So again, flavor-wise, thematically, it makes perfect sense. It's awesome. And then finally, Galvanic Blast. It just does 2 damage to any target, or if you have 3 or more artifacts, it does 4 damage. And you can see the picture is Iron Man with a bunch of the robot suits of Iron Man behind him. Of all the cards in these 2 sets, this is the one I would probably be least likely to actually put in the deck, except, of course, the whole reason I'm building this deck isn't necessarily to win, is to have fun playing with the Avengers. So I'm definitely going to put this in just for the thematic fun of it. And finally, we have Sculpting Steel. Now, this is the Baby Groot card, and it's interesting that Sculpting Steel and the Masterwork of Ingenuity card that came with Captain America are almost exactly the same. The difference is, with this one, when it comes into play, you can copy an equipment, but with Sculpting Steel, which costs a little bit more, you can copy any artifact in play. So, again, since I have Masterwork of Ingenuity, I normally probably wouldn't play Sculpting Steel, because it's just not as efficient for what I'm doing with the deck. But we got Baby Groot wearing Iron Man's armor. Come on, gotta go in the deck, right? So those are those 2 sets. So excited for those, but I do have some other cards to show you. One thing I forgot is those treasure tokens that Iron Man makes. It came with a token to represent that. And it's a crate with Iron Man's helmet in it. So that's also really cool. But that's not all that I've got here to show you, because when they put out the Secret Layers, they put out 6 characters, right? And 3 of them are Avengers, 3 of them aren't Avengers. So I didn't get anything from the ones that weren't Avengers. The other Avenger that they put out was a set of Black Panther cards. Now, I looked at the set, and it's different color identity, so I couldn't use them in the Captain America deck. But also, the synergy for the Black Panther cards is a completely different play style. Just none of it fit in at all. But still, as a collector, I wanted to get it. So rather than buy the whole set, which I couldn't really justify the price of because I wasn't going to use them, just as a collector, I also got this. It's Black Panther, Wakandan King. So there's Black Panther holding up some kind of vibranium rod, I think is a symbol of kingship or something. Trying to get this in focus, but I can't seem to get it to focus on the card instead of my big hairy face. But anyway, so I got Black Panther to sort of round out my Avengers collection, even though it's not going to go in the deck. So I'm just so excited to get these as an Avengers. And again, as I've been collecting Avengers since 1985, playing Magic since 1994, so this is awesome. But I do have even more to show you here, because when they put out these 6 sets, I mentioned each of them had a secret Groot card, so you had to buy all 6 to get the Groot set. But they also had a thing where if you spent over a certain amount of money, which is basically buy all 6 sets, there was a bonus card you could only get if you spent over $200 buying these other sets. which I didn't do because I wasn't even buying them at the time. So I had to get it on the secondary market. It was expensive, but I had to have it for reasons that will be obvious as soon as I show you. This was the secret bonus card. It's called Earth's Mightiest Emblem, and it's the Avengers Tower with the Avengers logo on it. As you can see, it's a special foil card of Avengers Tower. Now, also, the card itself is a reskin of Arcane Signet, which is a staple card for all Commander decks, almost all Commander decks. And so, obviously, I was like, hey, I would prefer it was Avengers Mansion from the comics, but I've got my Avengers team assembling. I need to have a headquarters. There it is. Looks so cool, this cool foil. So there's Earth's Mightiest Emblem. So that's my official Avengers set so far, but I did want to show you a couple other cards. Now, they haven't put out any of the other Avengers, and I'm not counting Wolverine or Storm. They're not Avengers, they're X-Men. The other cards that they put out, the other sets were Storm and Wolverine and Deadpool. Right, so I'm not counting any of those. They're not Avengers. But they did put out a whole Norse-themed set. Now, for reasons that I don't fully understand, when they did this, they took all the Norse gods, they put them all in the set. But even though the Norse gods are clearly in the public domain, they slightly tweaked their names a little bit. But there is a Thor card, which I had to get. And as you can see, it's very obviously Thor. He's called, in Magic, he's called Torolf, the God of Fury. But as you can see from the art, it's obviously Thor. So here's Torolf, Thor, the God of Fury, with the commanding the lightning and holding his hammer. And then, if you flip the card over, you could instead play it as Torolf's hammer, which is an equipment that you can throw at people to hit them for damage, and then it comes back to into your hand. So it's literally Mjolnir. So there's Thor, Torolf. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that this was sort of a preview set because Marvel has signed a deal with Magic, and they're going to be putting out several full-size Marvel sets in Magic. The first of these is coming out in August. It's a Spider-Man set. The whole set is going to be all Spider-Man themed, Spider-Man characters. And I'm kind of excited for that, but I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I just think it'll be fun. But they've already announced that they have a multi-year deal with this. My guess is that they're going to be putting out one big Marvel set a year for the next 3 or 4 years. I'm sure one of those is going to be Avengers. It would make sense if they did that next year because that's when the next big Avengers movie is coming out. It just makes perfect sense for tie-in. So I'm expecting, they haven't announced this, but I'm expecting there's going to be an Avengers themed set that'll be coming out probably next fall. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get the other Avengers, but in the meantime, that's probably going to be over a year before the Avengers set comes out. For now, Torolf is going to be my Thor in my Avengers set. Now, I could also, again, since Captain America's an equipment deck, I could cast him as the hammer, but I don't need to because in another set, they actually made a Mjolnir card. Here it is. It's Mjolnir Stormhammer. Trying to get that in focus. And Mjolnir has different powers than they kind of shot their wad here, so to speak, when they did Torolf's hammer, because the flavor of this is Mjolnir. You throw it at someone to do damage, and then it comes back into your hand. This does something a little bit different. It taps target when you're attacking. It taps a creature, and then they don't untap their next turn, and then it deals damage to the opponent based on how many of these tapped creatures they have. So flavor-wise, I'm not really sure, but it says right on there, there it is, Mjolnir, and it's another equipment to go in my Captain America Avengers deck. So we've got Thor, we've got Mjolnir, we've got Iron Man, we got Captain America, we got the big three. We've got Captain America's shield, we got Iron Man's armor, we've got Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. So we've got the basis of an Avengers deck here. What I'm going to do in a couple weeks again, I'm going to I've been assembling a new Avengers team for them. Since there aren't any other actual Avengers, I've been casting my net across the Magic universe to find characters that fit with the theme, um, and will be fun to have on an Avengers team. And it includes a lot of mostly these universe beyond characters. So um, I'm excited to put together my ridiculous team of Avengers. I'm looking forward to a future time when I can put together an actual team of Avengers made up only of real Avengers cards. But in the meantime, I'm going to put together the goofiest Avengers team ever assembled. And I'll be doing that in my next Magic video. I hope you've enjoyed this, even if you don't play Magic. And again, next week I'm going to hopefully be having a convention report if everything goes well. Either way, I'll definitely be having some actual comics content coming up soon. And hopefully soon my back will be feeling up to going through my comics so I can dig out back issues. I've got a lot of ideas for videos that I want to do that I just haven't been able to because I physically can't go through my comics. So thanks for sticking with me. Although ironically, the videos I've been doing about the Magic cards have actually been getting like 4 times as many views as my comic book content. But whatever, this is a channel about comics, so that's going to always be my focus because that's my real passion. But thanks for sticking through these Magic videos, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to share more Avengers Magic with you.